Morning, everybody. We're kind of awake live here this morning at 8 a.m. on March 2nd with Coffee with the Maries. And I don't know about Sheena, but I have had nowhere near enough coffee yet this morning.
I haven't even took my first sip yet. I just grabbed it and I haven't even took a sip.
I'm stretching and everything. I'm so tired still.
Right. Girl, I ran into the refuel station to get me my cup of coffee, my Colombian, and
Oh,
tossed out my
Colombian's
little
my
straw.
favorite too.
Yes, I needed an extra perk. The Colombian gives me an extra perk.
Did you know, random fact, y'all, the lighter the coffee, the higher the caffeine?
I didn't know that.
So if you're ever at a gas station or something, because I know that you like to get your coffees from gas stations and stuff like that. So if you're ever at a gas station and they have something that says light roast, get that one, girl, and then try it, and you're going to be like, boom, 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 boom.
Oh, yeah. See, I like the gas station ones because, like, I can't get mine at the house to taste like the ones that the flavors that they have and stuff.
Girl, we gonna get you set up. We gonna get you a coffee bar in your place someday, okay?
Yes,
Whenever you ready
that.
whenever we ready for that, we'll get you all set up and I'll teach you some tricks. Cause
Right.
I used to only like gas station coffees or like Starbucks, and now, girl, I just make it all at home because it's so much cheaper and you get so much more coffee out of it.
Oh no, not Starbucks. I don't really care for Starbucks.
I used to love Starbucks. It is too sweet for me now. I like coffee taste more than sugar taste a little bit now, especially with Colombian. But y'all, it is National Read Across America Day.
Oh, awesome.
Which is also, it stems from, it's Dr. Seuss Day because it's Dr. Seuss's birthday.
Really?
So that's where it stems from. I thought that was a pretty cool little interesting fact we got going on there. And don't forget, everybody, although we are live, we are only live across certain platforms. And with that being said, we can only see your comments if you put them in Riverside or on Facebook. So, as we move forward today, we got quite a few little topics going on. Some are very serious. Some are not very. Well, some are serious, and some I just kind of want Sheena's reaction on. If we want to be honest,
you just love my reactions, shenanigans.
But they're all really cool facts, and we try really hard not to do too much mainstream media. So I pulled some stories together for that, and let's see what we got going on today. I have no idea why I'm talking like that, y'all. Please just
jump on in.
Please just ignore the weird stuff that I'm talking. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. All right, so our first one is kind of a mainstream thing, but it's kind of cool, and not cool in a happy way, but cool in a I'm glad that we still acknowledge it was going on way. Autumn Lane McClure. I don't know if you ever heard that name, but back in 2004, she went missing.
Oh,
straight up vanished. Nobody could figure anything out. Well, they found her remains while excavating a suspected burial spot. So this was a 16-year-old girl. And back in 2004, she vanished, and her boyfriend said that he dropped her off at the mall. Well, in 2021, with the interview with the boyfriend, he then said, no, he dropped her off at a bridge, and she got in a car with her best friend. So at first, I was like, oh, it's the boyfriend. It's the boyfriend. He did it. No.
He's probably covering for somebody who did it.
So he was. And what it is the best friend, and the best friend, her boyfriend was like, everybody was afraid of him in this town. And
the girl's best friend, boyfriend.
The girl, yep, Autumn's best friend's boyfriend. Everyone was afraid of him. But Autumn was in a relationship of okay, so we're explicit anyways. So she was in a sexual relationship with her best friend and her best friend's boyfriend also.
Oh, like a threesome?
I guess, like a throuple. So she was
Okay.
like sleeping with them, and she was kind of staying at her best friend's house all the time. And her best friend came home one day, and her boyfriend was strangling her, and she died. And so they buried her.
The best friend's boyfriend. So what about the girl, Autumn's, her boyfriend?
He had nothing to do with it. He really did drop her off at the bridge, but he was told to say he dropped her off at the mall so that nobody would suspect.
Them. So he was lying for the
Because
best friend,
he was afraid of the boyfriend.
but he knew that they killed her.
Well, he didn't know for sure. He just knew that
They wanted him to lie.
They told him to lie because they didn't want to look like suspects. And that was his girlfriend's best friend.
So he just felt obligated to lie about his girlfriend.
Yep.
Instead of having his girlfriend's back after
Yep.
death. Wow. So that was in 2024. So we are in 2020.
So that was 2004.
That was 2004. We're in 2024. That's what 20 years ago? I know how that's bad this morning. Let me sip my coffee because this is a sip my coffee moment. So what?
Listen,
so they found
with
the
friends
Marines.
like that, man, you can't trust nobody. Your best friend?
Your best friend? And then you gonna help your boyfriend bury him because y'all scared of him?
Mm-mm. I was killing my boyfriend that day, man. I don't care. Like, me and Sheena close. Friend. Okay? I could not imagine me coming home. First off, I couldn't imagine being in a throuple with my best friend. That don't make no sense.
Right.
Like,
no.
And I'm not one of those people that disagree with polyamory or anything like that. I actually understand the whole concept. I'm not even going to say I disagree at all because I don't. But that's a whole nother podcast, y'all. But,
yeah, that really is. I was about to comment, but that's a wormhole for a whole nother.
Yeah, we'll get there sometime later this year.
Yeah, maybe on Yin Yang, but
right. But with that being said, it's like, dang, that's your best friend. And you come home and your boyfriend's struggling your best friend. Like, what in your body did make you pounce on him and knock him off of her?
Right. What? I need to see this dude to see why is they so scared of him, like, for real. What's going on?
I didn't even go look for him because I didn't want to see. Because I don't care how scary you look. Maybe I just grew up in different parts, or maybe I grew up just not afraid of death, or whatever it is. But I don't care what you look like, how big you are, how scary you look. I will tackle you to the ground in a heartbeat. Like, you don't have to take me out too.
You can't do nothing to my BFF, not in front of me.
Right. And then I'm gonna help bury you. Right. Ain't no way I'm gonna help bury you and keep my mouth shut for 20 years.
For 20, that's what I was about to say. And keep the secret for 20 years? Like, really? Come on now.
Good morning, Sherry. Thanks for being on here watching. But yeah, no, ridiculous. I could not do it. So
tell me, how did they find the remains? Like, they got a tip, anonymous tip?
So what it was is in 2021, the boyfriend admitted he lied.
Oh.
And they were like, they were at no point were ever thinking like the girlfriend, like the girl, the best friend and the boyfriend had something to do with it. So once they realized he lied, they started putting pressure on the girlfriend, but it wasn't even the girlfriend that told. What it was is the boyfriend that was intimidating everybody in the town told one of his homeboys about it.
That he strangled this girl and buried her.
Yeah. And that homeboy came to the police and was like, listen, I can't live with this information. It's eating me up away at me, and I need to tell somebody. So I know that she was murdered. I know that he did it, and I know that she's buried somewhere in this area because he brags about burying her in this area. That's when they went out to that area, started excavating, and found her body. So in this story, though, nobody got no true friends, man. Like,
none.
One of your friends snitched on you. See, that's why they say the girlfriend's always the ride or die, right?
Every man for themselves in this story. Goodness gracious! Oh my God.
See, I don't want no more friends.
No,
I got Sheena. I got Inoa and I got George. I'm not taking no more applications because man, people are grimy.
No,
like I don't got to worry about George stealing my boyfriends. Sheena don't want my boyfriend. It's her brother.
No, we cannot be in this rebel. That's definitely not gonna work.
I'm gonna just keep the couple of friends I got. I don't got to worry about Inoa. She don't want nobody. She don't even want her own boyfriend. So,
girl, I'm about to get some more dogs because I will not.
Right. That's how people are going to tell if I ever win the lottery. I'm gonna just show up home with a bunch of dogs.
Right.
What is she doing? It's I'm adopting. I went and bought all the dogs in the county.
Yeah, I got 2 now. So you see me about 4 or 5 of them, then you know.
Sheena needed more friends.
Right. I need somebody to watch Law and Order with.
So that was not our most serious topic.
Oh, wow.
The next one is, but the speculation on the next one, listen. Where is the one place murders shouldn't happen?
It shouldn't happen anywhere, but definitely in a small town, in a community, because shoot, everybody gonna know everything and know who did it right off the bat.
So an Amish community in Sparta Township, Pennsylvania.
Sparta, say that again.
Sparta Township.
That sounds like it's like a Game of Thrones
right
episode or something like that.
Sparta Township, the movie.
That's a movie. Yeah, I was about to say, is this a movie?
So there's an Amish community there. That's what it is. Sparta Township is an Amish community.
Okay.
It's like 35 miles from Erie, Pennsylvania. It's just
so that's when they say Amish, just to make sure I'm thinking correctly. That means that they're off to themselves and they're excluded. They really don't have any contact with no outside technology and stuff like that, right?
Correct. Like, depending on the type of Amish community, some of them do live with electricity, some of them don't have electricity. It did not specify, and I could not find the specifications on this Amish community. But they also
they have running water? Like, come on. I might be.
They have well water at the Sparta Township one, and I know it's well water because I see the wells in the pictures. So they have well water there.
We got to wash up. I'm just saying.
And
then light a candle, but we got to wash up. Okay, I'm just saying.
And they are a horse and buggy community.
So they ain't got no petrol.
No.
They don't know about gas prices.
No. No gas for them.
So you know who's somebody still breeding horses.
Somebody came into this community and killed a pregnant Amish lady.
Oh, okay. This is serious. Okay.
It is, but it's serious on a. If you live in a community that only has horse and buggies, wouldn't you hear a car? And how you roll up on somebody quietly in a horse and buggy?
You can.
Like clip.
I'm about to say you're gonna hear them clicking and clacking and then the rolling of the. Do they got the wooden?
Could you imagine a drive-by in an Amish community? Hurry up, Larry! Hurry up! Talking to the horse.
Oh my gosh! Do they still got like the wooden wheels on the buggy?
I have no idea.
Or they upgraded? Did they get some upgrades? Because we're in 2022. I mean, 2022.
Oh my gosh! Sheena's 2 years behind all of us, guys.
Right. Okay, seriously. So who? Okay, tell me the story. Okay, serious face.
So seriously, they don't have much information about it. It just broke yesterday. Sorry, it just broke Thursday, not yesterday. I skipped a day in there. At least I didn't skip 2 years. And all they knew at that time was that someone murdered a pregnant Amish woman. That the local police came in, like the Amish invited the local police in because, they have to be invited into Amish communities because they're super scared because Nothing like this has ever happened there. No one within the community would have killed this girl. They have no idea what's.
Somebody outside.
Listen. I'm gonna be honest. Well, they think it's somebody on the outside. I think it's somebody on the inside, y'all. Because ain't no way she didn't hear no car or no click clock horses. Somebody walked up to her house. It's somebody she knows. Man, I don't care what they say. It's the baby daddy.
I would say it's the best friend. I about to say you might have been sleeping with the best friend and she didn't know who her baby daddy was, and the two baby daddies, went in there and killed her because she was lying to both of them.
You turned this whole Amish girl into a hoe.
I sure did, I
know, just out of nowhere. Listen. These are some of the people with the highest morals in the country. And she said, man, she got herself into something. She was sleeping with the best friend's husband's baby daddy's third cousin.
Somebody to get herself killed. Now I watched too much Law and Order. Listen, she was doing something she wasn't supposed to. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, and they're not giving much information on the girl. So this is my thing. At nowhere does it say she's married. It doesn't state anything about how many other children she has. Any of that.
But don't the Amish people, like, in the community, they stay within the community? So if she never left the community, who outside would know she was even pregnant?
Yeah, no, I even though she was there, it was an Amish murderer.
Yeah, it's somebody in that inside. Because who would know she even existed there?
Not to make jokes, but whoever did do it is going to be the best surviving person in prison because they've already lived with no electricity, minimal food. They work their butts off every day. Prison is going to be easy for them.
Right. It's going to be like a palace.
Right. And they're going to get to hang out with people all day long.
Write some books.
However, with that being said, but yeah, they're not giving enough information. I'm going to follow along on this case a little bit, so maybe we'll have an update next week.
Okay, because I had additional questions. Because,
me too.
They need to start to find out if she ever left the community. Because if she never left the community, who outside the community knew she existed?
Right, so who just showed up at this random Amish that's 35 miles from the nearest city? Who just showed up at this random Amish community and killed this pregnant girl?
Right.
It's somebody that knows her. So, I mean, I don't know. Every bone in my body wants to be like it was, Professor Plum in the library with the candlestick.
It's somebody on that Amish community.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know why detectives are being so we don't know what's going on. We've never been in this situation. Man, ask questions. Y'all be pulling us in for interrogation. If we even walk across the street where a crime happened, man, pull the whole Amish community in. There can only be so many of them.
Right. Backtrack on her whereabouts for the last couple of days. She was not. So
track her footprints.
They killed her in her house, right?
Right. Well, yeah.
Right. So somebody had to know she was there.
And there was no sign of breaking and entry, but in Amish communities, they leave their doors unlocked.
So, but wait, who on the outside? Let's say if somebody on the outside. I'm just driving back.
You just want to kill somebody today.
And I'm just 35 miles away from the nearest city or whatever, and I run up on this community, and I'm like, oh shit, let me go in here and kill somebody.
Yeah, even if you were that kind of person, I don't feel like your brain would naturally choose the first pregnant girl you see.
Right. It's got to be a motive behind it. It's got to be a personal motive.
And the only person that would have motive in an Amish community is another community member. Because why would I, as somebody that lived in Erie, Pennsylvania, have beef with some pregnant girl in an Amish community unless she got pregnant by my husband?
Mm-hmm.
But if she's never left the community, how could she have done that?
Yeah, I think it's an inside job. Somebody didn't want her to have that baby.
Sherry, they did not say how old she is, just that she was, all they said about her age was...
She's 23.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I know that they said she was in her young 20s, her early 20s.
The article, I'm looking at I looked up the article just now, and...
So, yeah, she's 23. So yeah, I mean, there's no real information there.
All right, yeah, keep following that one because that's interesting.
I will. Yeah, we'll do an update on that next week. That way we can see which one of our theories is right. Sheena's saying the same thing I am. We both think it's from the community. Just our luck, it's going to be all kinds of craziness going on. We're about to find out the truth about the Amish, y'all.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not going to lie, just so y'all know.
She could have been sneaking out.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. Because me as a person on the outside, I've thought multiple times, like, man, screw this life. I'm about to go be an Amish person. And
really?
I have.
I didn't mean to laugh, but
because I was just like, man, I could cover I cover my whole body right now. I could cover my whole body in clothes and go to sleep. And I can stay in the house and cook and clean. And I can watch some kids or something. I mean, I'm not going to have no kids, but I can watch some kids for somebody. Not for this girl anymore because she passed. But you know, I could do good in the Amish community. But then I remember things like, oh man, I'm not gonna have no TikTok when I'm bored. And then yes, y'all, TikTok is what kept me on the outside world. So, but I mean, yeah, but she could have been the opposite. She could have been there in that Amish community going, man, I just want to be free. I want to be out there with other people in a different world and live in this modern lifestyle. You know,
well, if they ain't got
pizza
or coffee, I'm not gonna go there neither.
Amish definitely have coffee and pizza. They just make it homemade.
Well, we got to taste that. Like,
yeah, I don't know how to make coffee from growing it. So I'm not that scared. Now, my boyfriend, he's like, well, Sheena knows this, but he's all green thumbed and he can grow anything and know how to do this with it and that with it. And I can't do that stuff. I don't have a green thumb. If it looks at me too long, it dies. So
yeah, I need y'all to just give me my beans or something, at least the beans, so I can put them in the machine. If I can't have a machine, then we can't come.
He's a machine. All right. So moving on, and this may or may not be one that I just threw in to get Miss Sheena's reaction.
You rubbing your hands. I feel like
it's not about water people, man. We ain't made it that far in the episode yet. All right.
Oh, we got one of them stories about Pete.
No, I don't got no water people. I don't got no water people episodes. No water people stories.
Okay, we staying out the water this week. Good. We staying out the water.
I didn't say we were staying out the water. I said I don't got nothing about water people.
Okay.
So Neanderthals, cavemen, Neanderthals, used to use glue to hold their tools together. So that means that 120,000 years ago,
cavemen made glue.
Apparently, they did.
Out of stones and stuff. See, at this point, they're just making up shit and want us to believe it. Because you telling me a caveman had the nerve to know what glue is and use the ingredients that he had in his stones in his stone house and made glue.
They're saying that that's so Johnny just commented, I know, right, Sheena? Like
make it make sense. Make it make sense.
This is what happened.
Okay.
There's a museum in Berlin that holds like all these prehistoric things from the, cavemen days. Well, they started to go through and start examining some of these items. And on these items, they have found like where the wood and the stone meet, that there is glue of some kind of adhesive that's holding them together.
Somebody broke that shit up and put some Gorilla Glue on it and put it back in the case.
That's exactly what I said when I read the story. I was like, man, somebody broke that.
Ain't no way they have fucking glue. Can we investigate another piece of artifact?
Johnny said sugar water. That might actually be true.
I was thinking like if it is a possibility, it could be like if they had some pine trees that back in then, they could have took the sap off of there and probably stick some shit together. But not no Gorilla Glue. Like, come on.
They didn't call it Gorilla Glue, Sheena.
Well,
you calling it Gorilla Glue.
You can't call it glue because it ain't no glue. It's sticky stuff. But it ain't no glue, okay? You ain't mixing no...
It's a fruit roll-up. You know, if you lick both sides of the fruit roll-up, it's really sticky, too.
They ain't had no glue
Us
back
fat
then. We
people
can't call
know
it
that,
glue.
okay? Us fat people know what foods are stickiest. Because we eat at our desk while we work, because we got to get stuff done.
Right. Oh my God. That's just retarded. They're making up history. I'm about to make me up.
See, I knew that was
they
coming next.
Stories.
When I was reading that story, I was like, how do they know that though? Like, they said it was wrapped in plastic. Like, could the plastic have slightly melted and created some kind of residue or dew or film?
How they didn't know? Probably the same way they know them from the other week. We had that story about the 11,000-year-old rocks that they found. So they probably figured out that there was 11,000. They figured out that them rocks was 11,000 years old. That's how they found out it was glue.
Well, it's the glue is 120,000 years old. But if that's the case, how come?
Listen.
How come super glue wasn't invented until... Alexa, when was super glue invented?
According to an Alexa Answers video, the incredibly stable adhesive known as super glue
it was invented by accident in 1942.
Somebody lying. Somebody done broke that shit, glued that shit back together, put it back in the case. Now they're trying to implement. You know what I'm trying to say? Implement some history off of somebody's mistake. That's what happened.
Listen, I'm going to put some really random things in like a time warp jar and put it in the ground. And in 30 years, when somebody digs it up and finds it, I hope that they think it's from prehistoric times.
We should do that too. You know what? I know who did it too. It was the night guard, the security guard at night, because he was over there walking the museum, being nosy. He wanted to play with the artifact. He took it out the case. He started swinging it around and playing with it. He dropped it. He broke that shit. He went in his desk, got that 1940 super glue, and he glued that shit back together and put it back in his case so he wouldn't lose his job. That's what happened. Ain't no fucking history. Ain't no caveman had no super glue. Get out of here.
All right.
And if did have sugar, if they did, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. They had some sugar. What the comment says, sugar water.
Yeah.
He mixed some sugar water up. He made some glue and he glued his stick and his stone together so he could have a water. Okay, he did that. All right, that happened. 100 and something thousand years ago. You think that sugar water
it held that long?
Held that long? Okay, I'm about to go make some sugar root and everything about to get stuck with some sugar. I'm about to have a science project. Somebody do a science project with some sugar water and see how long that shit stick. Because I guarantee you it's not going to stick for no 110,000 years. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, next story. Because you know what? You done tick me off. How you going to have caveman got glue? You know what? They tell everybody, believe it if you want to. We ain't suckers. We suckers. Because if y'all believe that, you're a sucker. Let me come tell you something, because I got some stories to tell you that's going to be more believable than that bullshit. Okay, I'm done. Let me sip my coffee.
She'd just called us suckers. If you believe that, you a sucker. That's I'm gonna take that whole little area just now out, and that's gonna be our new clip that we play at the beginning. If you believe that, you a sucker.
You're a sucker.
Oh, okay. Have you ever heard of the Florida Man games?
Really? Florida on some dumb shit again.
Listen, okay, so you know everybody be like, all the crazy stories come out of Florida. Like, this man been wrestling an alligator. They decided to do something called the Florida Man Games, which is kind of like Olympic Games based on all the crazy stories that come out of Florida. And this was the first annual one. They just had it last week. And it had games like they had like eating contests. Then they had like you would fight in muddy water, like they would make like muddy water in these pools, and you would fight with pool noodles.
You know what? That actually sounds kind of fun. Like Florida might be on to something because we're in a stressful world.
Yeah, they
And
had like a little
sometimes we need a
sumo wrestling.
timeout.
And
A
they had like an
timeout to go be a
obstacle
kid.
course where you avoid the cops. Like the cops are trying to stop you from delivering a package, and you gotta avoid the cops. And so they had like all
They
kind of
really
cool
thought
obstacles.
about this.
Yeah. Listen, and so they charged everybody $45 a ticket to go watch the thing. Hundreds of thousands of people showed up to watch it.
You think?
And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, they really might be on. Now, if you have ever lived in the South, right? If you've ever lived in the South, you know that there's always random festivals. We got, you know, the turkey shoot festivals. There's always something crazy going on here, but nobody has ever had something like this, like the Florida Man Games.
No, it sounds different, and it's got to be Florida to do something out the box. So, you know, Florida is out the box. They connected to the United States, but they're out the box. They
are. I mean, like,
but they
the
make their own
closest
rules.
thing I've ever been to something like that is I go to the Highland Games every year, which is like Irish and Scottish type games where they like throw the big light poles and they throw the rocks and stuff like that. Like, but those are games that have been brought back over centuries. And those are really hard games. This is literally games making fun of games.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I mean, whoever had that idea really hit jackpot. I mean, I honestly think there were maybe, you know what would be fun? We could make fun of some games and make it into a game, making fun of games. And they just came up with this bright idea, probably somewhere sipping coffee.
They probably did. I know they made bank on it, though. You figure 100,000 people at $45 a ticket.
I was just doing the math in my head. They made real bank. Whoever thought about that.
And it didn't cost them much to set it up. They had to set up, some muddy pool waters, an obstacle course, and some sumo wrestling.
Oh, yeah, set for life. They probably ain't got to work until the next one.
Right.
They made some banks. Hey, Amanda, you want to go and make fun of some games? We can do a mountain version.
I mean, we could do the mountain, but the Highlands games are out here in the mountains. So, but I mean, we could do games making fun of the Highland games because I could probably participate in some of those. Like instead of throwing big rocks, if we can throw pebbles, then I can participate because the other rocks that they throw are really heavy, and I can't put them here.
Little pebble rocks, then I could paint them and put words on them, and then you can throw them.
Well, in mountain games, I mean, we could do something where you fight a bear.
Oh, and then I can paint them and put sucker on them. Then I can hand them out to everybody.
The rocks or the bears?
The rocks.
Okay,
hand out bears.
I was trying to figure out because as soon as I said bears, you said
a bear on a leash. Here's the bear.
But I said, and that's why I was confused. Oh, Sherry said she'd help us with the mountain games. But when I said, or you could fight bears, you said, and I can paint them. And I was like, you can paint the bears?
No,
and he was like, with sucker on the side, and then hand them out. And I was like, wait, I don't think bears are gonna let you paint them. I did a bear with a big old sucker thing on the side of him, and you were just handing them out. Like, here's your bear.
Randomly painting bears with suckers on them, and they're handing them out to people. No, I am not.
Oh, and Johnny be down also. So, man, I don't know. We might be planning some mountain games soon. We got a couple people.
Idea.
We got some volunteers already. We can all make some good money off of it.
Find us an event space. Let's do it.
Girl, we in the mountains. Ain't nothing but space out here. We don't need no event space. The event space could be in my front yard. You ever seen how big my front yard is?
Well, you on the hill. We can have a game where they can roll down and try to catch themselves before they go in the street.
Before they go into that little ditch thing at the bottom where there's always nasty creek water.
Keep up. We might have to have antibiotics on standby.
Not here in the mountains. Nope. You just got to go down to the feed and seed and get you some amoxicillin.
The feed and seed.
For real. That's where you get the amoxicillin from. I don't know. I guess not everybody lives
Does
in the
it come in a
mountains.
syringe so you can just shoot it up?
A
I guess I don't
syringe?
know what it.
Listen,
You gotta go
ma'am.
to the feed store. I don't know.
Listen, Sherry said that she wants to help with the bear painting classes.
I would not be teaching that one, okay? We got to
I'll
find
teach
somebody
it.
else to teach it. Yeah, you be the one to teach it. I'm in there painting
I'm
the
telling
rock.
you, that's gonna be how I die someday. Is y'all gonna be like, oh man, I can't believe Amanda passed away. They're gonna be like, what was her last words? And they're gonna be like, here, bear, 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 here, bear, 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 bear. Because they're so big and cuddly. I just want a hug.
And they
Just
got
one
sharp
hug.
claws that they're gonna
If somebody would just take me to a zoo where I could hug a bear, I've already ridden an elephant. I've already got to pet an elephant. That was like my dream. So now I just want a hug from a bear. Just one little hug.
A real bear?
I mean, how fun is it gonna be to hug a fake bear? It ain't gonna hug me back.
Well, I
Yeah,
could
a
probably
real
make
bear.
it hug you back. Put some electric shock on there and just shock it and it'll hug you. Listen, that's about as good as you're gonna get from me because I'm not getting a real bear for you.
Just take me to a zoo where you can get real bear hugs for $20 or something.
Let me see if this is a thing. Watch. America, this is probably a thing.
Is it a thing? Tell me. If it's a thing, it's gonna make my heart happy. Sherry said,
Oh my God.
Sherry said, hold on one second.
Zoo. I meant the Bear Zoo. The Cherokee Bear Zoo in North Carolina. You can go pet a bear.
I told you.
I knew it was going to be a thing.
See, and it's in North Carolina. It's not too far from either of us, but that's how it is in the South. In the South, you can go pet anything.
North Carolina.
Look up. You can pet llamas in the South, emus. They got a whole cow sanctuary out here where you can go cuddle with cows.
You're not doing too much.
But Sherry said, that she's gonna be petting the bear somewhere that she shouldn't, and it's gonna get her, and that's what makes her nervous about the bear. Oh, and Johnny was saying at first that she didn't think it was a thing, so she was surprised when we came back that there is a bear petting place. Listen, I'm telling you, down in the South they do anything.
Yeah.
I'm about to get me a snail petting place. I'm gonna just collect the snails through the next couple of rainy months, and I'm gonna set up a snail petting place in my front yard so that I can make some residual income. Did I say that right, Sheena?
I'm disappointed right now.
I don't got no bears. Okay, fine. How about a bobcat petting place? We got lots of bobcats.
That's
Coyotes?
not going to get you generational wealth. You know what? It might be because we got a lot of retarded people around here, but who might think that's cool to come pet a snail. I always wanted to pet a snail. Let me go to Amanda's snail petting zoo so I can pet me some snails. This is a good way to spend a couple $100 because you know you got to travel to the mountains. That sounds like a really good idea. I'm going to just spend a couple $100.
I feel like this is a very sarcastic marketing.
You feeling sarcastic?
Yeah, I feel like you're being sarcastic.
Sip my coffee now, okay?
Then fine, I'll move on to our last story for today. Y'all know that this is my most exciting thing ever because I love animals more than people because people suck. Anyways, they have discovered
some people suck. Like there's a couple of favorite people that I have, but everybody else sucks.
I just told you how somebody's best friend killed them today. How somebody killed the pregnant Amish lady. I told you about the cavemen and their secret glue.
Them people suck.
I told you about the Florida Man games.
Them people are cool. Some of you are drinking buddies, okay? Them your drinking buddies. They cool. They all right in my book. Next time you send me an invite, because I ain't had no idea. I had $45. I wouldn't have hop on a plane to Florida, but I probably would have drove to Florida.
I'll go with you. We should cover the Florida Man games on our podcast next year.
Yeah, we should be in Florida next year for it. We need to follow that so we can find the next one so we can be there. Because I will definitely be there.
I'm in, so we know it's at the end of February. All right, cool. So
because they got a lot of alcohol. Because you need a lot of alcohol to get through them games.
Well, I'll be the only sober person there. I'm okay with that. I'll be everybody's DD at the Florida Man games. Okay, I'll just be everybody's driver.
You just Uber. I bet you the Uber
made bank.
That game made bank. Because you know they drinking. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Hunger Man games, you know they were drinking.
You said the Hunger Man games.
Oh, I said it wrong? The Hunger Man games?
It's Florida Man games.
Florida. Oh, the Florida Man. I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm
she's stuck
hungry.
She's stuck on the Hunger Games from this morning.
Must be. Or I might be hungry. I don't know.
Okay. Sorry, y'all. I'm still sick. I'm going to be sick forever. I'm working on it, man. All right. More than 100 new species.
Oh, my God. You really ain't got nothing better to do but go around finding shit and making up history.
Listen, this is important to me. It don't have to be important to you, but I like animals, so we're going to talk about this. So let me at least finish.
Every time somebody finds something in the dirt, they're going to be like, it's new.
It wasn't found in the dirt. These are animals. And 100 new species, more than 100 new species of alien-looking marine animals. And they do look like little aliens. I was flipping through all the pictures on Thursday. It was so cool. They were found in underwater mountains by Chile.
Okay, first of all, how do you get an underwater mountain?
There's mountains underwater.
Second of all, alien fish.
I mean, they're not alien fish. They're alien-looking fish.
Well, they're alien fish.
Pull up the article so you can see the cute ones at the top. They look like an elephant fish.
You know, I was going to say something really mean, but I'm going to...
What?
Okay.
Y'all saw that too? Y'all saw her act like that just now too? I'm glad we caught it on live footage. I was going to say something mean.
I was.
But...
I was about to say, your fish look like Finding Nemo on drugs.
It does look like that. And I'm also sure that I dated a couple of these fish in high school.
So, okay, obviously we paying these people too much. Because they messing around in the water, finding new species. We don't need no more new species. We got enough of them.
No, we don't. How you don't think it's cool at all that they're finding new species of animals and supposedly we done explored the entire earth and all this and they're still finding new stuff? You don't think that's good for the ecosystem?
No, look at Atlanta. There's too many people in Atlanta. You see how it's overflowing, overpopulated? How are we going to be overpopulated with new species?
Girl, these is marine life. The fish is not moving into Atlanta, man.
I'm just saying, use the concept.
Sheena, you don't even live in Atlanta. Why do you care how many people live in Atlanta?
Because everybody live in Atlanta. That's why I don't live in Atlanta, because everybody else live in Atlanta. See, they're overpopulated. Now we're going to be overpopulated with new species.
Sheena, you making people choke on their coffee. Please do not drink your coffee. Listen, I need to put this disclosure out there. If you choke on your coffee in the middle of our podcast, it's not our fault. Because we're not telling you when to take a drink of your coffee. You know what? This is a safe moment to take a drink of your coffee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moment over. That's all you... We're not responsible if you kill yourself drinking your coffee and choking. For those of you that need this disclosure, Sherry.
Listen, you better take a sip when I take a sip. But seriously, like, you see how Atlanta is overpopulated because people just not stopping from moving to Atlanta. We're about to be the same way with new species. We're about to be overpopulated with new species because people get paid way too much money to go find shit that don't need to be found.
Listen,
said it.
what does finding marine life have anything to do with being overpopulated on land? Marine life means they live in the water. You won't even go in the water. So why do you care if they find a new species in the water?
Because I'm trying to save a life. Keep them motherfuckers out the water. They don't need to be in the water.
Who life you gonna save? It wasn't even them. They went down there with a robot.
Well, they still wasting money.
Whose money they wasting?
America's.
Listen, when's the last time America gave you any money?
A long ass time.
Yeah, me too. So I mean, I even pay
What
him
was
for
it?
taxes. So
What was that? The little cheap behind stimulus checks we used to get.
man, no, because they didn't really give those to us. We ended up paying for those in our next year taxes.
Yeah,
So they didn't give us that either. They don't give us nothing. So
really
why
don't.
not give it to find some species?
Because it sounds fun.
Do you hate everything? You
No,
hate all
I
the
just
animals? What if they have found a new species of dog?
I wouldn't like it either because, like, I just don't like stupidity. People just need to stop messing with people. Like, it's my own business. Like, why can't people just mind the business that pays them?
What if it was a
Mind
new
their own
species
business.
of person? I guess it wouldn't be species. Hold on, let me think about what I just said. What if it was a new race of people? That wouldn't be cool? If they found a whole new race of people? Just some purple people?
I'd be like, y'all making up shit.
But what if they just came out and showed us, like, hey, look at these purple people on this island, on this mountain in Chile?
I would have been like, y'all got pizza?
They probably don't have pizza in the mountain in Chile.
Well, then why are we talking about this, Corey?
Life does not revolve around pizza, Sheena.
My life does.
I muted my microphone by accident, y'all, because I was mad at Sheena.
Okay, finish your story. We're gonna be happy about the new species of retarded. I keep saying that word. No, the alien fish. We're gonna get excited. They do look like
They look like aliens.
They look like they need a hug. They look like
they've been just like, I don't know, like abandoned. They're like little orphan fish.
No, they look like they some incest going on. That's what they look like. That's what they look like.
I want y'all to know that I've been waiting for her to pull up the pictures.
They look like incest fish. If you had incest fish mating that don't need to be mated with, then that's what they look like. That's what they look like. They look like their mama and daddy should have never got together.
Listen, so they in the chat right now talking about you, Sheena. It's so funny. Sherry said, I agree with Sheena. Pizza is important. Johnny said, please feed Sheena. She's hangry.
This coffee is not enough, okay?
Clearly, I agree with you, Johnny. She needs some pizza. I know. So if y'all got time, look up these fish. They are really cool. They were found like 4,500 meters deep. I didn't even know there were underwater mountains, which was a whole nother wormhole that I dug through till like almost midnight last night.
So now they're gonna have like what you call the explorer trips down there to see the underwater mountains. You gonna go?
Well, and to keep exploring and find all the rest of these species. I personally would like to move to that mountain.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. God made heaven and earth and all of that's in it. You really think there's probably billions of other species?
There is.
We will never know how many species there really is, and we'll be finding new species forever.
That's especially like I was reading about this with like the Amazon. I guess like as people, we done explored everything in the world except all of us too scared to go into the Amazon. So we've only explored something like 23% of the Amazon forest. Because
people want to live.
Yeah, I was gonna say because every time people go in there, they never make it back out. But
So
there's
they should stay out.
that's probably where Bigfoot lives, is in the
Yeah, your
Amazon
petting bear.
forest.
That's where they got the petting
And my
bear
petting
from.
bear, the petting bear zoo is in the Amazon forest. So with that being said, you're absolutely right, Shannon. They're gonna find species for the rest of our generation, our kids' generation, grandkids' generation, all of it.
It's a never-ending job. So whoever got that, that's a job security because you always.
I wonder how you get that job. Like, I want that job. I want to just go find new species.
I mean, what kind of qualifications must you have to go find stuff? Like,
I think you have to be able to see.
When you was a child, did you play hide and seek?
I did. Is this my interview?
You got the job. Top salary. I'm gonna pay you $150,000 a year to go find shit and bring it back to me so I can say it never been found before.
I found this,
and I held it together with 100,000-year-old glue. New business idea: 100,000-year-old glue. This whole shit together for 100,000 years.
You can say it's fermented, just like they say with wine and stuff. It's fermented glue. That just means it's really old.
Right. Oh my God, that's gonna be a really good selling point for my glue. It's fermented. It'll last 100,000 years.
Yeah, you can say something like, from Neanderthals to now.
Oh, and it'll be sugar water, so it's natural, all natural, organic. Organic glue. Want some organic glue? Glue your eyelashes on with my glue. You will never have to worry about taking them off.
Right?
Never.
You'll get eyelash lice or something.
You'd be buried in your lashes.
She said that just now, and it hurt my eyelids because y'all know I'd be wearing lashes for our evening events. And so when she said that about the glue, like, I naturally was just like, I don't have any on my eyes now, right? Like, let me check. Because I like my lashes, but I don't like them good enough to wear them forever with fermented 100,000-year-old super glue that the Neanderthals have, apparently.
Oh, listen. I'm gonna make a killing because how many people wear lashes and nail? Oh God, fermented nail glue. Your nails ain't gonna never come off.
Fermented nail glue.
It ain't gonna never come off. Your finger come off when my nail glue come off. Okay. Listen, and I'm gonna be cheap. What's a Dollar Tree make selling for? They selling stuff for, well, it's not the Dollar Tree no more. It's the $1.25 tree. But you know what I'm gonna be waiting on? And I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna sell millions. Come get my little tube for $1.25. I'm gonna be cheaper than Dollar Tree. Don't go to Dollar Tree and get your glue. Mine's gonna be $1.20.
$1.20. Where are you gonna sell yours then?
Everywhere. I'm gonna be at the flea market. I'm gonna have an online website. I'm gonna be on the marketplaces.
What are you gonna call it? Like cave woman glue?
Oh, that's a good idea. Cave glue.
Cave glue.
Keep your shit on for 100,000 years or better. All natural, organic glue. 100,000 years.
Ingredients:
don't worry about
sugar, comma, water.
Water. All natural, baby. And you ain't got to glue it and never worry about it again. Glue it and never worry about it again.
What if you messed it up? Like, what if, so what if...
How you gonna mess up sugar water? We gonna put too much sugar in it?
No, I'm not talking about the glue, girl. What if you mess up using the glue? Like, what if I use your fermented glue and I glue my nail on crooked?
Oh, you just have a crooked nail because there's no take-backs, no refunds, no oopsies. I don't cover oopsies. I'm gonna have a disclaimer. I don't cover fuck-ups, so...
That's your disclaimer?
Yep. My disclaimer is I don't cover fuck-ups, no refunds. Glue at your own risk.
On that note,
I ain't gonna never have to work again. Because I know somebody...
You're not. Listen, I can help you make a logo.
You know, because remember, was the other year? I don't know what year we was in when that girl had gorilla glue her hair and then it got stuck. So listen, I'm gonna have one person. I know there's one person out there in America that's gonna use my glue and glue them some nails on or something, or glue them some edges on. Because you know, you glue your edges on, you ain't gonna never have to worry about edges again. Because them things gonna stay there. It's gonna stay there. So I'm gonna make a sale. I know I'm gonna make. I know a couple people personally.
But you don't want to change your edges? Listen, forgive me, because as being a Caucasian American, for the majority of my life, you know, I wasn't born Caucasian. I was born, you know, I was born a black girl. No, I'm just kidding. I as a Caucasian American, I don't really understand the edges thing.
It's just texture, you know, sometimes see our hair is textured differently. So you do too much pulling or our styles sometimes will pull our hair out. So now people will lose their edges.
But so when you say edges, you're talking about the baby hairs that be on the outside?
Yeah, your hairline that touches your forehead to your hairline, that edge. Border. Should I say border?
So for you talking about like these hairs and stuff.
Along your border, your hair.
Okay.
All that be gone.
Yo, my hair is a disaster.
Yeah. See all the the hair on the edges be gone. So instead of your hair starting right here, it be starting back here somewhere. And they need to put hair right there so it look like it's normal, not look like your fish. Because if not, they're gonna look like a fish.
Oh, like the new fish that I put in the article? Yeah, well, I didn't put it in the article. Fish. I didn't write the article, y'all. I didn't find the fish. They won't let me be an explorer because I don't have the right degrees. Apparently,
you can be my explorer because that's a new business idea. I'll hire you. You played hide and seek. That's my only interview question. You play hide and seek. If you play hide and seek, you can be an explorer.
I will not be your Dora. Me and Sheena got the joke. I have no idea what I was even saying at this point. Oh, that's what I was saying. Is I didn't really understand the whole glue down of the edges thing, but now I do. Now I get it. And if we're gonna do that, like, I mean, I have some spots back here that I'd like to do that with. So will you send me your glue?
And your tracks will never come out.
Yeah, but how dirty is that? Because you can't really wash your hair over top of the tracks. Like, you gotta.
I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's not my problem. At that point, it's not my problem. You want help gluing it down? I can help you glue it down. What you do with the aftercare? Aftercare instructions or whatever. I can't. That's another company for somebody else. Somebody else come up with an aftercare company so they can aftercare my glue situation. But other than that, I ain't got. Once you buy the glue at your own risk. Ain't got nothing to do with what you glue and how long it stay glue. I'm just guaranteed it's gonna stay glued forever. So glue at your own risk.
Y'all, this week's wormhole is if you had that glue. No, I'm just kidding.
What would you
That is a good question. I would like to know from people out there who view our live Coffee with the Maries today, or if you watch it later in the day, which I know a lot of people do. I want to know what you would use Sheena's Neanderthal glue for. Let us know.
What would you glue?
If there was one thing you could use it, but it would hold it forever. Yeah, well, not forever. 100,000 years.
I will glue you to my heart, so I would never lose you.
That's creepy, and I'm sure illegal. Like, does that mean you're coming to work with me, or I'm coming to work with you?
It's a kidnap situation.
I might be okay with this. Let's talk about this around 3:00. I'm just kidding,
y'all. Pizza.
I'm in. You sold me. Can I have coffee too?
Of course.
Well, then no. I'm on my way. Get the glue ready. So see y'all later. But no, our wormhole of the week is actually kind of a serious question, and I ask this because
I gotta be serious.
The homelessness in America is outrageously crazy.
Right.
And we have so
Really.
much money to send to all these other countries. So my question to you is, if you had unlimited funding for a program, what kind of program could you create, and how would you solve homelessness?
Oh my God. I would open up some, like, every city, state will have several um, apartment complexes, apartment buildings, or a home community, a community of houses where you can qualify for. If you homeless, you can come live. Like, I would just buy up houses and communities to generate a community for the homeless, where they can have an opportunity to get on their feet, have a place to stay, so they don't be stressing
The
about that, so
problem
they
with what
can.
you're saying is, I want you to remember that some people are homeless by choice.
Yeah, but I would still try to help them, give them options.
Well, I'm not
But
answering because it's the wormhole, so you got a week to think about it.
that's a good
But
question, though.
and
I
the
would
biggest thing
definitely.
for me is, because some people are homeless by choice, whether it be a mental illness or drugs or, trauma that they've
But then I would
experienced.
have, like, um, you know, uh, sessions, or that, not, I don't want to say therapy sections and stuff like that, but outside help where I would collaborate with, to get those people those type of helps that they need, so they can get out of their situation.
Right. No, absolutely. I agree. I just thought it was a really, really, really important thing for everyone to kind of keep in the back of their head. I know that as normal everyday adults, we don't think about stuff like that, because we're just going to work and we're dealing with the hustle and bustle of everyday life. But
Mm-hmm.
when you live in a community like I live in, where you have areas that the homeless gather, your heart
Mm-hmm.
breaks when you see people go back to those communities, because they are literally just trying to make it. And so that's where
Right.
this kind of came from. And
I would just open up different resources to help them. At
right,
least
and the
give them a
biggest thing to
meal.
remember is that you got to open resources that are actually going to help them. The people out here, they're like, "Oh, tell them all to go to shelter." Shelters are not safe places.
No,
They're
they're
not
really
safe
not.
spaces for family. There's just as much crime in shelters as there is living on the streets. And it's almost easier to stay on the streets because you don't have a curfew.
Right.
And
Or
if you
live
got
in
a
your
job
car.
that you
People.
work until 8 o'clock and you have to be in the shelter by 8, guess what? You're sleeping outside tonight anyways. So, um, and just a couple of things to touch on before we let everybody go. Sherry had said that if she could use your glue, she would probably use it. She said, "I would say the mouth of someone at work, but that's probably illegal." All right, so Sherry did not say that. There's no
Yeah.
proof of it. In case that
But it might
coworker
work.
mouth
I mean,
ever
because
gets
they
glued
can.
shut.
Yeah, they can breathe out of their nose unless they got allergies.
Yeah,
Then they screwed.
but still, I mean, that's their fault for having allergies, not Sherry's.
Right. That's
Sherry
still
didn't give them
good.
allergies.
Right. I want
And
you to
then
know that the intrigued part of me, the really intrigued part of me, will be going after this podcast and mixing sugar water together.
do it. I
So
don't know nothing about it either, but I've heard of it before.
okay, so I'm about to see if I can make some glue.
Ooh, do it to Adam's lips.
No, I'm gonna mix it up, and then next week when we meet, I'm gonna tell you if it lasts a week. Because if it don't last a week, I know it didn't last no 100,000 years.
Man, Johnny is the one that said something about sugar water, not the dang article.
I know, but still, what else could it be? If you 100,000 years ago, what can resources did you have?
Maple sap from a tree?
You had maple 100,000 years ago?
You don't think they had maple trees 100,000 years ago, Sheena? Yes, they did.
Where was this cave located that it was found in? Because is
Oh,
it found
okay.
in the
So
area that has a
Johnny
maple
said she
tree?
used to use sugar water as hairspray when she was young. Poor and broke.
So it got some adhesive to it.
Yeah.
But does it have 100,000 years adhesive?
Well, I mean, how are you going to test that theory, Sheena? You're not going to live for 100,000 years.
I'm not going to test it for 100,000 years. I'll test it for 2 days, couple days. It's going to last a couple days. Theory alone.
Sorry, Sherry jumped on there and said she would try sugar water, but she don't got no sugar.
Me neither, Sherry. Gotta go to the grocery store.
But also, like, I do want to just point out that Johnny did jump on there and say, like, she watches a lot of YouTube videos on the homeless, and she'd also want to truly help them. And that's the biggest thing about that being the wormhole, is just give it some thought. Because if you give it some thought, and it's a program that doesn't really cost a lot or something like that, that is something that you can implement with your local community and board of directors. You know, all you got to do is go out to a couple of board meetings, and all of the board meetings in every county are listed on websites. So you can always find where they are. I just think it's a really big thing for us to start acknowledging as people, especially while we watch this fight between the federal government and Texas go on. There is already enough homeless in America. Let's take care of them first. Let's get them somewhere safe to be first, and then worry about what's going on with the borders.
Right. You got all of these condemned homes that's being, these good homes that's being condemned and they could be.
There are more vacancies in America than there are homeless. I read that recently in a poll. And if that's the case, then just give them all a freaking house and let's keep it moving.
Right. No, they want $300,000.
Well, yeah. So, yeah. If y'all have any questions, though, we're right here all day. We will be back tonight, live at 8 p.m. with our sponsored podcast about depression. So please be there if you can. If not, you can catch it, of course, afterwards on all of our streaming platforms. But until then, we will see y'all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.